Hi, I'm Jasper. You probably think I either seem socially awkward, angry, or high on mushrooms, and most of these things aren't true. But I do believe pixies are real and comic books are the Bible, even though I talk fast, forming sentences is hard. I don't like eye contact because looking in someone's eyes shows you all their secrets. Because standing up for myself makes me anxious, I probably won't tell you if you use the wrong pronouns. And if I do stand up for myself, you'll think I'm yelling at you. Sometimes I talk in third person, not because I'm Elmo, but at times I forget who I am. I've become unapologetic about being queer, but this is not who I used to be. I love deeply, believe in things fiercely, and care more than I'm capable of showing. And all I really want is for people to stay. But none of these things are clear since I'm autistic. This means my panic attacks seem like anger outbursts, my concern seems like ill intent, and my advice sometimes sounds like snide comments. I'm not mentioning this as an excuse for any harmful behavior, but rather as an explanation for why it's hard to see everything I don't mean to hide. I have a passion for working with children. I've been studying genocide since I was 7, started reading feminist magazines at age 8, and when I was 9, I taught myself the word empathetic, and it's been my anthem ever since. I was misdiagnosed bipolar at age 16, so I became heavily medicated and hospitalized, and I'm not mad about the misdiagnosis, but I am mad a doctor didn't care enough to actually get to know me. I had a period in my life where I lost all my kindness and hope since I forgot I had it. Routines and traditions being changed terrifies me since I'm scared of everything I've grown to love disappearing. I know I fixate on things. I'm much more rational than I seem. I pace and stare off into space and hate being touched without warning. I have a very loud voice for someone who doesn't like loud noises, but I have no intention of harming you, and I know intentions aren't as important as actions, so I take responsibility for anything I've done. It's unlikely I have a problem with you. Honestly, I don't think much of most people. I probably haven't noticed you're in front of me, not because you don't matter, but because I'm often inside my head. The world just gets so big sometimes that I have to pretend it isn't here. I spent a long time trying to die and the past year fighting to live. I think it's important to recognize I don't think my autism is a problem. I've spent most of my life teaching myself that being disabled does not make me less than human, so that's important for me to believe that. When I say I really do care about you, I mean it. I rarely lie, I observe everything but forget a lot. I hear most things, so I heard all the rude things kids said about me growing up and rude things people say now. I'm not as strong as I seem, so your words do hurt, and despite popular belief, I actually am smart. I feel much more fear than anger. I feel I am judged too harshly for someone who tries as hard as I do. I have a condition that is seen as a disease, but I've never felt sick. And I'm saying all this hoping that maybe you'll see every part of me I desperately want to show. If I have time, I'm also going to do this one. It's new and I haven't done it before, but I'm gonna try. I feel really bad for Toothless. He lived his whole life just trying to catch fish and avoid all the villagers who wanted to kill him. Then he meets this nice kid who's the first to realize that maybe Toothless doesn't want to be a murderer. Maybe he's actually kind and loving and way more capable of compassion than humans, and maybe he's called the Night Fury because someone gave him that name, and maybe he's just really angry that he's living around a bunch of people that want him dead. And his new friend gets all the people in the village to say, hey, maybe dragons aren't that bad, but now he used to live in a village with everyone who's been trying to attack him his whole life. And his friend, while well-intentioned, doesn't think that maybe this isn't exactly a solution, and sure, Toothless doesn't have it half as bad as all the other dragons, but maybe he doesn't want to live with his attackers, maybe he just wants to fly away and never have to deal with this shit again. And then Hiccup's mom shows up and they find out a dragon never killed her, so his dad had just decided this only to justify him killing dragons in the first place. And he never had a reason to want anyone to die, and even if someone had killed his wife, it's still not an excuse to go assassinating anyone. And he's really the murderer in this story, but no one had a problem with him. No one thought twice about him. He spent years trying to avenge the death of someone that wasn't even dead, and basically attempted a dragon genocide that all these lost lives were lost for nothing. And I feel really bad for the Jabberwock that she was living in a world with rules that constantly change and creatures who constantly change, but they all decided to find an enemy in her, even instead of the people actually causing them harm. And they wrote a poem about how awful she was instead of mourning her death, and did the Cheshire Cat ever relate to her as someone that nobody understood? Did the Red Queen ever care about the casualties she caused? How many others were there? How many other innocent beings were killed because of her poor leadership and disinterest in her subjects' right to live? Did it ever occur to anyone that maybe the Jabberwock wasn't actually deadly, she just didn't like being stabbed and having arrows shot at her? Did anyone try to stop her death? Did Alice put flowers in her grave? Did she even have a grave? I feel really bad for the last dragon. No one knew their name, didn't bother to learn, didn't stop to consider. Maybe they were angry because everyone they loved was dead, and this healer who was supposed to help those who needed it used her powers to kill the one who needed it the most, and maybe most people don't know this story. But I always found it really sad that there was this tale about killing the last of someone's kind and nobody thinks twice about it. because they feel their actions are justified, that somebody dying is always right because they decided it is, that murder is only wrong if it's done by somebody else. And yeah, these are all stories. Yeah, this isn't real. Yeah, dragons are made up. But I bet I just made it easier for you to sympathize with fictional creatures and with actual people. And how sad is that? Woo! Woo!